What is up, Broscarellis? Ashton here. What? Welcome back to Gents. Obviously, we're talking cologne fragrances today. Some of the absolute best ones that you can get, but not only that, there is also a huge giveaway today thanks to JOMASHOP. They are hooking us up with a big time cologne giveaway, a cologne box, if you want to call it that. 5 super hype cologne fragrances that one of you guys are going to walk away with, so stay tuned for that. And also there's going to be some giveaways on TikTok as well, so follow me there at Incense because there's going to be 2 big giveaways there also. And there's going to be a big designer giveaway here in a couple days here on YouTube as well. But today it's a cologne giveaway, so it's a cologne video. Now, all the scents I share with you today are going to be linked in the description. Feel free to check them out down there. And I'm also going to link to JOMASHOP in the description as well. Make sure this Black Friday and Cyber Monday that you check that website out because there is going to be some crazy deals there. So again, linked in the description to JOMASHOP. Check them out. Which fragrance to start with? Let's kick this off with the fragrance that I bought recently from JOMASHOP. It is this one, Lutfa, Light in the Heart by Rabiat Prestige. Now when you take a look at this, just the color scheme, you can guess right away kind of how it's gonna smell. I'll tell you, yeah, it's got that Parfums de Marly vibe, and you can tell again just by that kind of caramel matte color scheme. But it's a little bit different. It's kind of doing its own thing to an extent. It's like a twist or almost a hybrid. Now it's absolutely mainly the Parfums de Marly. That's the main thing that you're gonna get from this fragrance, and it smells great. The quality, very high, very warm, cozy, sexy, and as usual from this brand, atomizer slaps. But it has this ambery undertone to it, so you could kind of view this as like an amber twist Altair. To a lesser extent, something like MFK's Grand Soir mixed with Altair, but again, leaning much more heavily toward the PDM side of things. Absolutely lights out. This stuff is fantastic. So even though it doesn't really get talked about that much, which makes sense because there are a bunch of different Altair alternatives out there at this point, like a whole bunch, this one is one of the best. Like this stuff, absolutely fantastic. Another newer pickup, this one right here, this is Luxe Bold by Maison Alhambra. Flip it around, there we go. Now this whole lineup right here smells similar to Bond Number 9, and so you can probably tell if you're familiar with Bond Number 9 what this is, just based off the color scheme. But in case you're unaware, it is Bleecker Street, and that rules. Bleecker Street is one of my favorite Bond Number 9 fragrances. That stuff is amazing, and surprise, surprise, this one's actually pretty good. And I say that because I've got a few of these, and Luxe Street, that one smells like Lafayette Street. When I first got it in, it was a little rough around the edges. After some time, it was a lot better. You know, the M word, maturation, or whatever that rhymes with. You can use your imagination. And so I was expecting this one to kind of be rough when I first sprayed it on. You know, just a little bit, not quite there. And yet, first spray, this stuff, really, really good. Now, right off the rip, maybe not quite as good in terms of performance as Bleecker Street, but I can live with that. And hopefully, as it matures, just like I just talked about, it gets a little bit better. But as it stands now, this stuff is an amazing alternative on the cheap to Bleecker Street. It's gonna give you that nice blueberry kind of green grassiness when you first spray it on. Perfect for spring. Just really well done on the cheap. All right, the next one I'm including solely because of some drama. Nice. Vanilla Aura. This is by Gulf Orchid / Maison Asrar. And to be fair, when everything kicked off with this stuff, I hadn't even smelled it. So it's another one I had to get in from JOMASHOP. That way I could see what the whole like mess was about. Now, obviously this is a vanilla fragrance, Vanilla Aura, right? And you can tell kind of by the presentation style that it leans a little bit feminine. It is a clone of a mega expensive Guerlain, Vanille Planifolia, which goes for this much retail. Yeah, it's pricey. This one is like 35 bucks, and obviously it's not gonna smell the same as the Guerlain. It doesn't. Although admittedly, I have only sampled the Guerlain. I have not spent that much money because I don't hate myself that much. Yet. And the worst part about this fragrance for me is maybe the opening. Not that it smells bad, it's just not as mind-blowing as you might have been led to believe if you've seen some of the hype behind it. The dry down does indeed get better. It becomes a vanilla fragrance, which is kind of what you would expect. Warm, lightly spicy, sweet, semi-woodsy. And for the price point, 35 bucks, it smells really well done. And I swear I'm gonna hurry here. But there was a video done by a really big influencer on TikTok and Instagram where she basically alluded to being bribed or attempted to be bribed in order to change her opinion on this because he said it totally sucks. And so I reached out via JOMASHOP to the CEO of Gulf Orchid and said, hey, have you seen that video? What's going on there? Because I don't know about you guys, but you should probably not bribe people or offer to bribe them to change their opinion. It's not a great look. And it took about a day, but the CEO hit me up. We went back and forth a bit, and they essentially told me, yeah, that wasn't us. We didn't offer to bribe anybody. We didn't do anything like that. And they said, in fact, the only communication they had with that influencer was about 3 months ago, where they were going back and forth about a sponsorship or a potential sponsorship. And the manager of the influencer sent their rates over. Their rates were too high. Gulfwork had said, no, thank you. And then that was that. And now all this stuff is going on. It's pretty crazy. And now on TikTok and Instagram, man, it's like a war zone. I don't know if you guys are over there, but war. War never changes. So all of that to say, it's a vanilla fragrance. It's 35 bucks. It's pretty good for a vanilla fragrance. A little bit feminine leaning. Not really in love with it, but it's okay. It's all right. It's all right. I just thought you guys would like to know a little bit of that stuff going on in the Wild West over there. What do we talk about next? Let's talk about a little envy up next, boys. This one right here, the envy of FOMO. Yeah, Le Parfum, it says. Now, you know me, I'm about that discontinued fragrance life, and this smells similar to Gucci Envy, which is one of my all-time favorite fragrances, discontinued or not. It's gonna give you a little bit of that throwback masculine feel, super easy to wear in my opinion, but if you're a younger guy, you probably won't appreciate it as much. And as of right now, this is probably your best bet for getting something similar to Envy at a price that's reasonable. Rayhan up next, Terra. This stuff I really like. Good old Rayhan, man. Heck yeah, dude. Woo. So this smells like Outlands from Amouage with kind of a twist. It's got that nice incense push, but not too heavy. Bit of a sweetness underneath, more sweetness I would say compared to Outlands. Basically smoothed out a little bit, made easier to wear, a little bit more of a contemporary push. Instead of going as Middle Eastern, it's almost like taking that vibe and maybe giving it a little bit more of a Western lean. At least that's how it comes across to me. But it still does keep the essence of Outlands there. It's just one of those ones, like I said, with a little twist. I think it smells fantastic. Fall and winter time, that stuff, top notch. Might be the best thing Rayhan's put out so far. Used to be Pacific Aura was my favorite one by them, but I think this one is kind of hopping over that one. Let's throw it back to this right here, that Alhambra again. This is Exclusive Tobacco. This smells like Mystery Tobacco by Carolina Herrera, only of course, way cheaper. I don't know if you guys know about Mystery Tobacco. I've talked about it a number of times, but it's the vibe. Basically, Mystery Tobacco slots in between Red Tobacco and Carlisle. Yeah, kind of take the best of both worlds and put it into one. Chilling out, take it slow, then you rock out the show. Hannah Montana. Exclusive Tobacco on the cheap. Gonna give you that Mystery Tobacco flair. Amazing for fall and winter time. Let's go next with this guy right here, Shiaka Shadow. I have always not loved the presentation style of these Shiaka fragrances, but the fragrances themselves, like the actual scent, have typically been way better than you would expect. This one smells like Bad Boy Cobalt, which means it could also remind you of Invictus Platinum because those two fragrances are pretty similar. This one though, maybe a little bit more fruit forward than Bad Boy Cobalt is. When you first spray this on, again, atomizer, really good. Some of these fragrances have amazing atomizers, but when you first spray it on, it has a big bunch of sweetness in there. So it's like that plum kind of gets like a sugary overhaul almost. Still keeps a little bit of that aromatic feel to it, good performance, and just a great versatile scent right here. Caudlage is a sneaky brand to me, like real sneaky, in the sense that they come out with stuff that, you know, it doesn't really tell you a whole heck of a lot. It doesn't look, you know, really fancy or anything like that. So you always expect, it's probably gonna be kind of crap quality compared to, you know, the other brands out there. And then time and time again, you smell it and you're like, that's actually pretty freaking good. Why are you putting it in that cheap bottle? I mean, I guess the atomizer is great, so there is that, but I mean, yeah, just consistently every time. And then you smell it and you go, that's pretty good. I'll be there. French Avenue Vulcan Black. Friday, limited edition. That's what this is, the Vulcan Black. And they had a big brain moment and they were like, oh my God. Okay, stick with me. Vulcan Black, but we're gonna sell it on Black Friday. It's genius. And that's what they're doing. Big brain! This one has popped up here and there like Fragflex, and then some other places are selling it for higher prices. I wouldn't go there, because I've seen this online, some places like asking 80 bucks, 90 bucks, stuff like that. And that's just, you know, that's just not good, because you wait just a little bit longer and it's in stock all over the place and don't pay as much. Oh, look, these two bros just hanging out. They color coordinated. Nice.
What? Did we just become best friends? Yep.
Now this stuff packs a pretty good wallop, and it smells similar to Tony Iommi Deified by Xerjoff. It does smell high quality, it does pack a pop, like I said. One difference that I find with this one compared to the Xerjoff is the Xerjoff has a little more, to me, like fruit off the top. It has more of kind of this like tart, fruity pop when you spray it on. And this one has a bit of that, just not as much. So it has more of a focus on those base notes kind of coming through here. Not as much of that fruit tang when you first spray it on. Outside of that, really, really similar, and as it dries down, they get closer and closer. Really, really, really good stuff. Quality here, way higher than you'd expect. Montaigne, this little dude right here, Lanouille 2011. Kind of sticks out a little bit, doesn't it? Got all these bottles, all kinds of different shapes and sizes and colors and all this stuff, and then it's just this right here, just chilling. So it's like a little stock bottle, this sticker on the front, you know, not too much to write home about, but the fragrance itself, really, really good. And it's exactly what it says, Lanouille 2011. That's what it's trying to be here. It's just trying to smell like old school Lanouille d'Alône before the reformulations, of which there have been many. And this is one that smelled really good when I first got it, and it has aged quite well. This is something actually a lot of Montaigne fragrances do. They get darker as they age. Yeah, they mature, they get darker. It's like fine wine. Not too much to say about it outside of that. It just smells like a ramped up, more powerful, deeper, richer Lanouille d'Alône. Now, some people will pay out the nose for that. They'll go look for vintage bottles and pay jacked up prices. Other people will be like, it's not really worth it. If you really want Lanouille d'Alône, just get a modern bottle and say heck with it. And neither one of those opinions is wrong. But if you want kind of a throwback style and you don't want to pay as much, then you can get that and kind of split the difference. This next one is one I don't really mess with, but it is really well done for what it is. Al Haramain Amber Oud Gold Edition. So this stuff right here smells like Herba Pura, which is not one of my favorite fragrances, but this is a really well done alternative to that one, and it is really, really strong. Like, I don't really want to spray this strong. It sticks around, it hangs out, it overstays its welcome, punches people in the face, it's rude. Yeah, it's a lot. A big fruity freaking bomb. That right there, if you want Herba Pura, check that out. Also really dig this right here. This is Odyssey Mandarin Sky Elixir. You guys have heard me talk about this before. It smells kind of like Invictus Victory Elixir, just a little bit of that, mixed with Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal. So it absolutely leans more toward the JPG Scandal side of things, just with that additional like vanilla aspect from Victory Elixir mixed in. The original Mandarin Sky, also really good, but that one's more just straight up Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal. So if you want Scandal with the twist, you can get that. If you want something that's more Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal, like straight up Scandal, but you don't want the twist and you don't want to go with Mandarin Sky, go with this, Oscar by Zamaya. It's much more under the radar than Mandarin Sky. Like Mandarin Sky is the one that's going to get talked about the most, but this is just as good. Perfect blend of aromatics, a little bit of sweetness, wearability, perfect for fall, winter, early spring. Presentation is actually not too bad. Like, it's nice and hefty in the hand. The quality is good. And the performance is quite nice as well. So if you want Jean Paul Gaultier Scandal on the cheap, check out Oscar. If you can find this next fragrance, it's worth getting. It's Mirage Absolu by French Avenue. Smells like Leighton exclusive, but the problem with this one, you can never really find the stuff. It's been sold out forever, it seems like, and none has come in stock. So basically the people that have it now are asking like 80 bucks, 90 bucks, and you know, it's not worth paying that much. And all of that's really unfortunate because this is pretty much the best Leighton exclusive alternative out there, but you can't find it. If you can, check it out. Next one is Albarari Shore. This is Samaya once again, and this smells like Forever Wanted Elixir by Azzaro. With a little twist, there's not as much raspberry in here. It has a little more freshness to it. So when you first spray it on, this one comes across fresher than the Azzaro. A little more citrus going on in here as well. Now you can still get the raspberry. Like, it's not gone. It's not that it doesn't exist. It's just not quite as in your face as with Forever Wanted Elixir. Still, this stuff smells great. Really good alternative to a newer fragrance for much, much less. And fall and winter time stuff rules. The Elixir is up next. This one is Icarus. Now this is a newer clone brand from Indonesia, strangely enough. So yeah, not based in the Middle East, which to be fair, Montaigne is based in the US, but you know, most of these are from the Middle East. Presentation is actually really good. Like, the bottle looks nice. It feels good in the hand. The atomizer is solid. Cap is pretty heavy. Like, it's well done. And this one is Blue Talisman. So it is their alternative, their dupe to that one. And this is more so trying to just smell like Blue Talisman. So some of these are twists, they're changes, they have things that are different. This one is pretty much just trying to be like the real deal. And it does a really good job. It has that nice balance of freshness and sweetness. The performance pretty good as well. Just high quality stuff all the way around with that. I think they have 8 right now. I don't have all of them yet, but I have most of them all coming, so we'll see. That one though, really good. Hawas Verde up next by Risasi. This one smells like Torino 21. Maybe with a little twist, maybe like a little Pacific Chill in there, but of course Pacific Chill and Torino 21 have overlap anyway in terms of how they're constructed, the notes and everything else. But this one right here is a Torino 21 alternative. Very obviously green, hence the name. Super brisk, very bright, fresh, zingy, lively. Got a nice zest to it as well, and one that smells amazing during spring and summer, or would smell amazing during spring and summer. I wouldn't know yet because they put this out heading into winter. But Torino 21 is a fragrance that I've rocked heavily during spring and summer, so I'm just extrapolating the data that way. It smells like this, and I've worn this during that time. Should work. Watch it somehow be just a dumpster fire in summer. Be like, how is that possible? What? Nitro Elixir up next by Dumont. Check that out. A nice magnetic cap. Nice-ish, you know, like the magnet's not super strong, but I'll take what I can get. So this guy right here smells like Myself Absolute, hence the color scheme, or at least I imagine that's why it looks like it does. And Myself Absolute works fantastic just about any time you want. And so does this. The performance is really good. It has cardamom and citrus, a little bit of apple off the top, orange blossom, praline, tonka as it dries down. And this right here, you may think, well, why Myself Absolute, right? Well, I'll tell you. First off, it's brand new. Second off, it's freaking expensive. That's pretty much it. Oh, and also third off, it sells like hotcakes. And I would say this kind of carries on the trend of like Nitro Red being a fragrance that you wear year round just to try to get compliments. This does the same thing, so it fits right in. This one by Cottelage, Zayan Gold, smells similar to Elixir Absolute by Jean-Paul Gaultier, with, I would say, a big old blast of plum off the top. Great atomizer again. What's the deal? It's just so strange to me to have fragrances that I pay like 30 bucks for, 40 bucks for, have atomizers that rule, and then designers or niche fragrances that I pay 3, 4, 5, 6 times more for have turd atomizers. Especially some of these designers lately. It's just garbage. And I'm sure part of that is because a lot of the bottles now are refillable, you know, where you can like take everything off and refill it, put it back together. But man, some of those atomizers are so terrible. This one, as I said, Elixir Absolute, maybe a bit of a twist, quite sweet off the top. Has a nice, almost like semi-gourmand lean to it, like taking Elixir Absolute and making it lean just ever so slightly toward the gourmand side, and really pumping that plum off the top to really grab attention as soon as you spray it on. Fierte Luna up next. French Avenue, this smells like Xerjoff Naxos, which is so weird that there have been so many Naxos clones coming out. I just got a new one in the mail today by Atralia, which I'll show you. The presentation is actually kind of sick. Oh, I can't get the box open. Oh my God, come out of the box. Oh, the box won't come out of the box.
What's in the box?
Like, this is kind of sick. Magma Ember Musk, and it's got like a magnetic top to the box. It's pretty cool. And then the bottle sits down inside there. And this is also Naxos. So it's like, why is all of a sudden everybody coming out with Naxos alternatives? Great atomizer again. Now I just got this in today, so it's not had a chance to mature or anything like that. But it does lean more like white floral, sort of like white floral Naxos. So it's definitely Naxos with a twist. It doesn't go as much into the like honey tobacco off the rib for me. And truth be told, right now, I don't really like how it smells. Like, to me, it smells cheap. It doesn't smell as good as all the other ones. I love this box style. Like, this is cool. I like that. That's really innovative, but the fragrance itself, yeah, not that great. We'll see. Maybe with time it gets better, but right now. This one though, fantastic, really well done. A great alternative to Naxos, which is one of the best tobacco scents ever. And then the final one, this right here, this is Sharaf Divine by Zamaya. And this smells like Angel Share Paradise if it had a tiny touch of Angel Share on the rocks. Now it's closer to Angel Share Paradise, even though I know the presentation makes it look like Angel Share on the rocks, it's closer to Paradise, but it's not the exact same as that one either. So this is one of those twists or hybrids. And that really is the easiest way to think of it, is just take Angel Share Paradis, maybe like 80% that, and then the rest on the rocks, giving it like a little bit more freshness when you directly compare it to Paradis. As you would expect though, the fragrance itself, really, really good. Easy to wear, I'd say spring, fall, winter, daytime, or nighttime. All right, giveaway. This is coming from JOMASHOP, so it will come from them to you. And here's what is included in the giveaway. Mango Ice by Gulf Orchid, which is a clone of God of Fire. Maison Azrar Legacy, which is a clone of Blue Talisman. Rasasi Hawass, which it's Hawass. Everybody knows that, right? Liquid Brune, which is of course Altair. And then Kamra, just good old Kamra. So essentially like a greatest hits almost kind of package. And the designer giveaway, which I'm gonna do in a few days here on YouTube, again, be on the lookout for that. It's gonna have Tom Ford, Yves Saint Laurent, Armani, and more. And on TikTok, I'm gonna be doing a big clone and also designer giveaway, different fragrances in those. So again, follow me there at Incense. But if you wanna be entered in this giveaway, just like the video, be subscribed to the channel, and comment down below. Let me know what is, in your opinion, like a go-to clone fragrance, like the best one right now in your opinion. It can be new, it can be old, doesn't really matter. I'll pick a winner with random comment picker, and I will post that up on the YouTube channel. And this one I'll do separate, so I'm gonna have just the JOMASHOP winners posted up from this video and the designer one. And I'll do this one probably quicker, probably like a week after the designer video goes live. That way there's time for people to enter. So again, shout out to JOMASHOP for sponsoring the video with that giveaway. Make sure to check them linked in the description, and also check them on Black Friday and Cyber Monday as well. I'll probably include something about those sales on Black Friday on the channel also. Thank you guys for hanging with me here until the end. Stay safe out there, take care of yourselves, and I'll see you tomorrow with another fragrance video. See you guys.